Hey, this is Mike. I am in Whiteville, North Carolina, visiting Van Underwood Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and I'm checking out a 2016 Dodge Dart, and this is the Rallye edition car. So it has some really cool features and appearance packages. So let's go ahead and check it out. And you'll probably notice right off the bat, 17-inch dark gray, kind of smoked out gray aluminum wheels. And I think that's one of the best features of this vehicle as far as the exterior looks is the wheels. And it has the ventilated disc brakes here in the front. You also have disc brakes here in the back, except for, of course, these are solid. Most vehicles have solid rear disc brakes, which a car this size, braking should be no problem. Okay, so let's take a look here in the front. Halogen projector headlights, and they are bifunction. In other words, they are used for the low and high beams. You also have projector halogen fog lights here at the bottom. Shiny gloss black grille here in the front with that crosshair Dodge design. So this is what the key looks like. You have the lock and unlock button. You have the ability to open up the trunk. You have a panic button there. Have the Dodge name there on the back. It also has a physical key on the inside. You just open that latch and there's actually a key that can you can take out of the inside. But let's go ahead and make sure it's unlocked by pushing the unlock button there, and let's check it out. Okay, so here's the inside of the passenger door. You can see it has a high contrast with the black, and then that kind of a white or off-white color there in the center, kind of popping out, accentuating all the features there on the door. You have a little storage pocket there on the handle, and then you have bottle holder, and then a little storage space, pretty decent sized storage space there. Soft to the touch here and here. And then everything else is pretty much hard plastic. Then you have the metallic handle, which looks pretty awesome, that matte metallic handle. Manual adjustments on the passenger seat here, and it has a cloth seat, but it has a like a textured cloth here in the center with like perforations there, and then it has that off-white or white underneath it to kind of pop through the fabric, which looks pretty cool. And that center fabric is grippy, so you're not sliding around too much in the seat. And you have the white French stitching as well, as accenting everything. Plenty of legroom here in the front. Now this seat's all the way back, so this is the most amount of legroom you will have here in the front. And you have a little storage pocket there on the side there. And check out the glove compartment. It is just massive. So first of all, you have this little cubby compartment there, but it goes back for a mile in there. I mean, it's way back in there, so you can put your valuables or whatever. And so you can put like books, school books, or anything. Okay, so let's take a look here in the back. Now, remember that front seat is all the way back, so give you an idea of the legroom. So here's the back door, very similar in style as the front. Doesn't have the bottle holder. It has a, I guess you can put a bottle in there, but it's a little bit smaller storage space. So here's the back legroom. Seats all the way back. Now the driver's seat's more in a normal position, so that you get an idea of the differences in legroom there. The back seats have the same fabric here in the center, and this folds down, and you've got an armrest, cup holders, and a little storage pocket there. You have a little passway into the trunk, which is cool. A little tray there for putting things. Pretty significant hump there in the center, so your center passenger would have to adjust their legs. So sitting here in the back seat, With me being 6 feet tall, and if I put my legs straight out, they do touch the seat. Now, of course, this is the minimum amount of space I would have here in the back. But if I kind of relax my legs, it's not a big deal. My feet do kind of go underneath the seat here in the front. But, you know, I guess on a fairly short trip, it's not too bad. Not really scrunched up, really. It's just, I'm not really a back seat. I don't really like riding in the back seat to begin with, but hey, this is not bad at all. And kind of surprised that I'm not scrunched up more than what I actually am. So your fuel door is here on the passenger side, so you can make your passengers put gas in the vehicle for you. And you just push it to open it up like so. And it has this cap with a plastic tether string there, so you don't lose your cap. And it has a little hanger here because you don't want it dangling down, scratching your paint, but you don't want it in the way either. So they have this neat little hanger, and once you're done pumping gas, you can just put it right back on there, and it's out of the way, and you don't lose your cap, and it doesn't scratch your red paint. Shiny red paint. So let's take a look here in the back. Dual exhaust, dual chrome tip exhaust, which looks pretty awesome. And you should see this car at night. I'm going to try to do a night video hopefully soon, so you can check it out with all the lighting and the inside and outside. So opening up the trunk, there's two ways to do it. You can, just want to point out, it does have a backup camera, little lenses right there. But opening up the trunk, there's a button on the inside, which I'll show you. But also, remember the key? We just double tap that button and it pops up right around there. And we just barely lift it and it goes up the rest of the way. So here's your trunk space, and not too shabby considering the size of the vehicle. And those back seats back there will fold down, giving you a lot more cargo space if you need it, if you don't have any backseat drivers in the way. And it's a 60-40 split, so you have a combination. You can have a combination of passengers and cargo space. So under here, this vehicle does not have a spare tire. It has a tire inflator kit, like a little pump there with some sealant, but there's no spare tire. Now, a spare tire is available in this vehicle, but this particular one just doesn't have it. So just want to make sure that you actually know whether you have a spare tire or not, because that could be an issue if you're going on a long trip, especially on the weekends, that kind of stuff. Let's take a look here on this side, just to kind of give you another point of view. You do have some tap lights there in the center dome for your back passengers can access. So starting the vehicle, it's as simple as taking this key and turning it on like this. So let's take a look under the hood. And there's your button to open up the trunk instead of using the key. So opening the hood, just slightly to the right of center, there's a little latch that's on the bottom, and you just move it to the center and lift up the hood like so. And the hood's pretty light. So there you go, 2.4 liter multi-air Tiger Shark 4-cylinder engine, 184 horsepower, mated to a 6-speed PowerTech automatic transmission with the auto stick feature. Covered up with plastic, the engine is, but we can see around it and kind of see some engine there. It has an insulated battery, which is awesome. Okay, so here we are on the inside, 2016 Dodge Dart Rallye. Awesome little car, plenty of leg room, very comfortable seats. I've heard a lot of people say how much they like the comfort in this vehicle. It looks small, but I mean, when you get inside, you got plenty of leg room. My feet, my knees, all that stuff have plenty of room. Have a place to put my left foot, which is essential. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on the driver's door. It's just like the other side, except for it has some more buttons. You have your door lock controls here, power windows, and your ability to lock the back power windows so nobody rolls them up and down if you need to do that. Side mirrors are controlled here. You just pick a side, left or right. You can adjust it with this little pad. Headlight controls are here. You have an automatic feature, off, parking lights, and then headlights. And the fog lights, you just push that button and it'll turn them on or off. So here's your dimmer switches. This is for your interior gauges. If you go all the way up to the top, it'll turn your interior lights on. And then this one here on the right is for your ambient light, which is awesome. You can adjust the brightness of that. Can't really see it during the day, but at nighttime it looks amazing. So here's your steering wheel. It is a tilt and telescoping steering column, and you can lock it in place with this little lever once you have it in position. And it's a leather wrapped with some pretty neat bolstering right here. Smooth leather, not a whole lot of texture there, which is pretty neat. Then you have that gray plastic around there that's really tough. Dodge symbol in the middle. So has a lot of buttons on it. So here on the right is your cruise control. You just have to make sure it's turned on. You can set it, change through your speeds, cancel it, and resume there. On the back of the steering wheel, right there is your volume for your radio. So the whole idea is your hands are on the steering wheel and you're adjusting the volume up and down. Now there's also a center button that you will be able to cycle through your input, say AM, FM, stuff like that. On the back side of the other side of the steering wheel, on the left side, you have a up and down and a center button. Up and down is a change to the stations. Center button is to cycle through your presets, which is cool. So here's your buttons here for your, here on the top is for your voice recognition. So you can push that button and there's certain commands that you can say. Actually, there's a whole bunch of commands, and highly recommend reading through your manual. And this vehicle actually comes with a quick start, quick tip guide for voice recognition, and kind of helps you get started because there's so many different commands that you can use for your radio, phone, stuff like that, that it's a really good safety feature because your hands are on the wheel, eyes are on the road, and you're staying productive. So highly recommend going through that and understanding the voice recognition system. Also, there's your phone button. So once you pair your Bluetooth phone with the system, you can make and receive calls using that button. Another awesome feature. So these buttons here are for this little screen here between the gauges. Windshield wipers are controlled there on your turn signal. So the gauges are accented in red with that black background and the white lettering popping out. Really sporty looking lettering too. RPMs there, speedometer there on the right goes up to 120. Pretty cool. Fuel gauge here and your engine temperature, coolant temperature. So right there in the center, you have this little screen and it's showing 81 degrees outside, you're in park, and then it says 70 miles, which is the odometer. So I'm going to scroll up using the buttons I showed you here, and we're going to see that you can get different information. So this is your digital speedometer there. You can get your trip, range to empty, 303 miles, and average miles per gallon, and current miles per gallon, which a little bar will pop up there as you're driving, and your tire pressure in all tires, oil life, and you can go into different settings and change certain things like say kilometers per hour versus miles per hour. And then you scroll up again and then you go back to that screen, which we were originally at 81 degrees temperature. Now I'm going to scroll up. This is the screen I would normally have, is the miles per hour digital speedometer. It's really cool. And you can see that all the red around the gauges here, it looks pretty cool, especially at night. You got to see this car. Okay, so here's your 8.4 inch touch screen. So you have the radio, right here with AM, FM, satellite radio. You have presets there at the top. You can adjust your bass and treble there with the audio button. Right here is for playing music through other sources, like say your auxiliary input or your Bluetooth audio, that kind of stuff, and it'll kind of pop up there as it's available. And then you have some the ability to turn off the screen if you need to, like so. In case it's just distracting you, you can just turn it off. You just touch the screen like so and it'll turn back on. Climate control is controlled here as well. You have your where you want the air to blow, your temperature, fan speed, and then your air conditioning, recirculate the air, and then your front and rear defrosters. Your phone, you can set it up here. Once it's paired, I'm not going to set it up now, but once it's paired, you'll have access to your phone book and recent calls. You actually have a little keypad dialer there, and you know, caller ID and information will be there in the center. You'll have favorites across the top, and then you'll be able to transfer the call back to your cell phone in case you need a private conversation. You don't want everybody in the car to hear your conversation. You can transfer it back to your cell phone. Okay, you notice the whole time you have the clock and the digital temperature at the top, and we can go into a million settings here for all kinds of stuff. So anyway, so there's the general idea of the touch screen there. Let me go back to the radio. There's lots of cool things in there. You don't actually have to go in there and look at everything, but they're there in case you need to. And you have your climate control. Like I said before, you have your climate control up here. We don't actually have to go into it. You can actually control most everything right here. You have a volume for your radio, tune through your stations. You have your traction control, which you can turn off if you need to. Four-way flashers there, temperature, fan speed, and air conditioning, stuff like that, and your defroster controls there. You have a 12-volt power supply down here, which has a little key on it letting you know that it will turn on and off with the ignition of the vehicle. Little storage cubby there. You have another storage space here on the side. See if we can get you a better view of it. It's kind of hidden there. Little side pocket for putting things. It's probably going to get cluttered, but that's the way it goes. So here's your shifter, really easy to use. Has a little boot there, it looks pretty cool, sporty. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse so we can check out the backup camera. Pops up here on the big screen, very colorful and easy to see. And then you have those lines there that kind of help out with your estimated size of the vehicle, and also the distance. So you definitely don't want to go in the red zone here. Yellow is pretty darn close too. So okay, so let's continue down. There's neutral, and then there's drive. So this is your normal drive position. It will cycle through all the 6 gear ratios automatically, but if you ever want to manually change the gears, you just slide it here like that, and it will give you the ability to ratchet shift into different gears, different gear ratios. And you'll know what gear you're in because this pops up here. I'm going to go ahead and put it back in drive so you can see you have the letter D there. But as soon as I put it in manual mode, it says 1. So I can go to 2, but it's not going to allow me to go too far out of a range just sitting here. But you have the ability to go to 1 and 2 just sitting here, and at any time you can just move the shifter to the right to go back and allow the vehicle to shift gears for you. Okay, so we got some cup holders here, and it's open in the center in case you want to use it for other stuff besides cups. You can put your cell phone or whatever. There's your parking brake there. And center armrest here is kind of like a leather cover with the stitching and everything, and it's kind of small, so you might have to share it with your passenger there. But this lifts up, and you have a storage space in here with a power supply and a USB and auxiliary inputs there. That's for playing music through your sound system. Now you notice the 12-volt power supply has a battery on it this time. This lets us know that it's going to be on whether the vehicle's on or not. Handy for charging a cell phone or something while you're in the store. And you notice it has this little place where you can allow the wires to go in and out of this compartment without, you know, pinching them while this is down. This also slides forward and back, so in case you need to get a better position there for comfort. Let's take a look at the rear view mirror. It has the manual adjusted day and night mode there. On top you have the microphones for your Bluetooth system, so while you're talking to somebody you can actually that keeps them away from like wind noise and stuff like that, the microphones. You have a place to put your shades, and has like a rubber interior there to protect them. You got some tap lights for a quick individual light for either side. Visors have mirrors and lights in them, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so also let's take a look at the visibility here in the back. Pretty good amount of visibility here in the back. You can see the headrests don't get in the way too much, and you got your side glass there. Alright, there you have it, 2016 Dodge Dart. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, comments, leave it in the comment section. If you maybe drive a Dart every day, that would be awesome if you can give us some more information. So thank you for watching, and thank you to Van Underwood Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Whiteville, North Carolina for allowing me to check out an awesome car, and I'll see you next time.